Good morning, gang. It's Mike G here from Mr. GTV and MrMikeGonner.com. And you might or might not know, and you might or might not care, that I've had my Facebook distribution restricted for 90 days. 90 days, 3 months in Facebook prison. At least I've not been deleted as I was a while ago. Clearly, what I'm saying, they're fact-checking. But we know already that the fact checks aren't fact checking, they are biased opinions. I mean, that was reported on in The Guardian and Financial Times, that these fact checkers are funded by the same cabal that are rolling out this agenda, and anybody that's saying anything as an opposing view to that agenda is getting fact checked. I wonder who's fact checking the fact checkers. I wonder what fat checks the fact checkers are getting. Basically, governments are paying people off so that there's only one narrative, there's only one dialogue that you're allowed to listen to. If anybody has the audacity to give an alternative view, whether it be a scientist or a doctor or the military or the police or any authority, a school teacher, social worker, care or health provider, or holistic practitioner or psychologist like myself, if anybody dare talk about health, the mental health, emotional health, physical health of the population under the duress of the legislation, not the virus. The virus isn't causing the world's problems or problems that you're experiencing, not the virus. It's the legislation, it's the mandates, which aren't even law. And saying that will get me deplatformed, because I'm carefully not using any of the C words or the V words. But I've been sharing stuff about the tennis player and what's going on there, and in my opinion that was just a diversion. That guy, that tennis player, if you look at Time magazine, all the photographs of him holding his tennis racket up like this, and some of the symbolism, and if you don't know what I mean by that, it's the one-eyed club, the Illuminati. Now you might be thinking, oh, here he goes, woo-woo. No, it's true, not woo-woo. Same as that girl, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they've all sold out, they've all been bought, they're all patsies, they've all been put there to appeal to a different section of the population. We've got sports people, we've got young girls, we've got celebrities, we've got comedians, we've got what I would call working class, and then we've got the elite classes, and they've all got representatives, all paid. Lenny Henry, black people, people from all sorts of, I was going to say ethnic minorities, but they're not minorities anymore, are they? Old phrase. In this diverse society, which is absolutely correct, I'm not racist. They've got representatives from every section of the public paid to deliver the popular message. And at the moment we've got Boris Johnson, who, no respect for the guy, complete and utter liar, but he's a bit like Donald Trump, and I've said this before, who's another liar, narcissist, misogynist, very dodgy morals and doubtful character. Wouldn't trust him to walk my dog. But ultimately these people have been put there because they're puppets. But actually Donald Trump did quite a good job. You might dispute that because you don't like him, but the facts and figures are undisputable, because, you know, the economy in America was booming. He'd changed the rules in China, changed the rules in terms of the climate change agenda. Whatever you think about that, America was getting back on its feet. More people were employed, there was more contracts, industry was returning, exports were down, exports were up and imports were down. Boris Johnson was doing quite a good job as well. But of course, they have massive pressure from above, the shadow government, the unelected think tanks, Davos, Trilateral Commission, United Nations, World Economic Forum, Bilderberg Group, World Health Organization. These massive unelected bodies of people, millionaires, elites, who are rolling out a global agenda called Agenda 21. And you can Google this and check it for yourself. Although a lot of the information that was freely available is now fact-checked, and they're calling it, there's debunkers on these things. There's people who are saying, well, they've changed what's available for you to see. So it's not as easy to get to the facts. They're rewriting history, which is very clever, really. But clearly there's a rollout of an agenda financially, medically, economically, sociologically, geographically, meteorologically, sociologically. Everything is being changed in society so fast. And at the moment, because Boris Johnson, like Trump, wants to be popular, he's now doing really on the back foot of being kicked out, because he was easing off on restrictions and taking the popular view. So England stood alone, even in the UK, because Scotland, Wales and Ireland were bringing in or maintaining regulations. What was actually happening is that Boris Johnson was standing alone and trying to be the people's hero. Well, they didn't want that. They want him to toe the line. So they discredited him. They've pulled the rug from under his feet. They've took him down the road, 3 cheers for Boris Johnson, then shit on him. I don't feel sorry for him in the slightest. He had it coming. But I'd tell you what, I'd rather have Boris Johnson than his replacement, because his replacement's going to be like Macron, or like the Scottish First Lady, or the Welsh First Minister, or the Irish Prime Minister, who are finding, well, they're getting off on the power that they've never had before. It's always come from Westminster, but because of the separation of England, Scotland, Wales and Ireland, they've had more power ruling over their people, and they've loved it. And don't be fooled into thinking that this situation in England where they're easing off is going to last for long, because Boris Johnson's on his way out, and trust me, whoever gets in will just carry on the job. And what they're doing at the moment is they're consolidating the position, because there's been more resistance than they expected. There's been a public outcry which they underestimated, they didn't anticipate. And in my opinion, what they're going to do is they're going to make, in the same way that I've been deleted and restricted, anybody who posts the protests, which won't be reported on, will be deplatformed or have their notifications restricted or their distribution restricted, which is where I am for 3 months now. And with the next wave, trust me, that's going to happen with the next set of restrictions. And be under no illusion that COVID is going to, even if COVID goes, the next things will be climate restrictions, or there'll be something else. I mean, look at the rise in prices. Look at the food prices, petrol prices, oil prices. None of this because of the virus. It's all because of legislation. It's all being manipulated. It's rather like when these countries go bankrupt, completely manipulated to crash the economy, and the people at the top who knew it was coming become billionaires overnight. There's been more billionaires. I think I read that there's been 1 billionaire a day since the beginning of this current situation, which is 2 years old now, isn't it? 1 billionaire a day because of the sale of PPE, testing things, track and trace, all the people who were put in positions, you know, all the Nightingale hospitals and everything, the construction that were never used. I mean, it's just so blatantly corrupt. But people have made billions out of this. Billionaire a day, while there's been thousands of businesses closed down, people separated from their loved ones at crucial moments in their life, births and deaths, elderly people who've been limited getting out, which is what they deserve to do at the end of life, you know, to walk and to have contact and socialise and enjoy and laugh and dance and sing and walk the dog and go out for picnics, and just all that's just, life has stopped. And travel and holidays. People have lost businesses, lifestyle. They've lost their integrity, their heart, their soul, their mind. People have committed suicide. It's going to take decades to pick up, while at the other end of the scale there's a billionaire a day from these elites who are basically running this, directing this from their ivory towers, literally. No idea about your life, my lifestyle, our needs, normal people. That's so evident when you listen to these people talk. They're just literally from a different planet. You know, listen to the Bidens and the Nancy Pelosi's and the Clintons and the Obamas and, you know, as I say, the Richie Sunaks, multi-billionaires, families, privilege, and good luck to them. I believe in the oneness, and they're all part of us. But I also believe in love and light, and there's no love and light coming from the mouths and hearts of any of those people. It's just not in their minds. So we have to look after ourselves. And as I say, this is not going away, even though we're in a bit of a reprieve. But my best advice really is just to bubble up, put your protection on, put your seatbelt on. And I wear this seatbelt not because I'm going to crash, because I've been driving since I was 17. So that's the best part of 47 years really. And I've had a few knocks, few little scrapes with the bush, or a cone in the road, or a shopping trolley at Asda, but I've had no crashes, no write-offs. Never come off my motorbike, so to speak. Slid down the road a couple of times when I was 16, 17 on a Honda 50, but nothing serious in my 47 years of driving. But I still wear a seatbelt just in case, and I recommend that you put your protection on, your mental, emotional and physical protection on, just in case, because when you leave your front door and come out into the world, it's fairly negative, it's fairly aggressive, and you've just got to maintain your own positivity within your bubble of protection, wearing your metaphysical seatbelt, which is a metaphor, and just protect yourself from all this shit. Now I'm driving this morning to go for breakfast, meeting a good friend, having breakfast. There's things going on in my family, things going on in my life, things going on in my business that could give me sleepless nights, and have given me sleepless nights. But whatever is going on in my mind, whatever is going on in my life, this wonderful expression is, don't let it get to you. And an affirmation that I continually repeat to myself is, that didn't get to me, she didn't get to me, he didn't get to me, they didn't get to me, that bit of shitty news didn't get to me, that didn't get to me. I've got my seatbelt on. And even if in the moment it does get to me, like this bumpy road, then I default back to peace of mind. I become calm and relaxed, and just look for the next positive thing. If you look for the good and expect the best, that's what you'll manifest. If you look for the shit, the doom and gloom, there's plenty of that. But how do you feel when you're bad-mouthing yourself or anybody else, or sharing negativity, talking about the shitty things? You know, my grandparents served in the war and lived through the war, and my father and mother were born during the Second World War, and that generation were very resilient. Don't be a snowflake, be resilient. Make a decision today that this isn't going to get to you. Wear a seatbelt and realise that whatever's going on in the news, that's just a story. The real main theme of your life, not a subplot like COVID or your job or your marriage, those are all subplots. Your kids are a subplot, your pets are a subplot. There's some good subplots and there's some negative subplots, but the main theme of your life is to live a happy, energetic, positive, fulfilling, purposeful life and get on a mission. Get on a mission. I'm on a mission. I think you know what my mission is to help people overcome the obstacles that stand in the way of the health, happiness and success in life and business. And quite often that gets me in trouble, as it has done with Facebook, as I say. But if there's anything that I post on Facebook that's not being distributed, be part of my team and distribute it for me. Post and share, like and subscribe. And if anything I've mentioned in this chat about not letting it get to you, or wearing a seatbelt, or taking advice and then making your own mind up, and anything that I talk about, I'll talk to you for free. If you want to chat, I'm here for that. And let's do things that unite us. Let's stop talking about our differences. Look for things. Look, make friends. In a diverse society, look for the good. Look for the similarity, not for the difference. Don't point the finger, because when you point the finger and blame, there's 3 pointing back. Smile, be warm-hearted, be kind, because that, in my opinion, is what we can get out of this. Like I say, my grandparents and parents lived through the war, and the community spirit and the morale and the determination of the population during the First and Second World War was tremendous. I've yet to see that so far. Everybody is fighting everybody. We've got the people who've had this against the people who haven't. We've got the people who wear these against the people who haven't. Respect your own integrity and respect the integrity of everybody else to make a decision that's right for them. And don't believe what you're being told on television, which is divisive, where what they're doing is they are dividing and ruling. We've got to stick together in this. Be powerful, stick together, look for the good, expect the best, enjoy your mind. Going for breakfast now. Thanks for listening. Share and like, subscribe. God bless.